We are in a very unique time in Tesla history. Tesla has now refreshed their Model 3 and Model Y, and we're now at the eve of them launching new, more affordable vehicles. But most importantly, Tesla has now been demonstrating how these cars, despite them looking like normal cars, can actually drive themselves. Tesla had its first ever car drive itself from the factory to the customer's home in Austin. Will this be a demand driver? Might that show up in higher sales for the rest of this year, or will we need to wait until 2026? And what happens now that Grok, a voice-driven AI, is now about to be available in our cars? Software code has been found that it's already there. We'll give you an update on how Grok will work in our cars. And to help me do that, I've got Brian White here. He's the host of FutureAza as a YouTube channel, covering more than we do here. They do deep dives in not just Teslas, but lots of other cars as well, lots of brands. Thank you so much. Brian.
Oh, it's great to be here as always. These are hot topics. I'm very excited to see Grok in the box. We're going to have some fun.
Yeah. Are these going to be demand drivers right when, car sales, we don't know if we're selling or not selling anymore. If we're seeing more of these cars like just recently, Xiaomi's YU7 that came out, right? That is fantastic, looking great. So many features, by the way. It's got the magnetic tissue box. It's got this horizontal dashboard with a dashboard for you can actually see electronics. You've got just magnetic buttons everywhere. But are those features what matters or not? So this kicked it off because I saw this post here by Dave Lee. He said, if you try out a Waymo and you like it, you can't buy one, right? But if you try out a Tesla Robotaxi and you like it, you take a ride in one, you can order one in a minute, Tesla.com. Of course, he follows up with it saying, no, I'm not saying that it's a Robotaxi. No, these are just Tesla Model Ys. But the point being that any regular Model Y that comes out could function as a Robotaxi. It self-drives itself. Interesting to think about how Tesla Robotaxi can positively impact Tesla's sales of vehicles going forward. So if a consumer hails a car, it comes up, drives itself, and they go, what is this? It's a Model Y. Oh, it drives itself? And then maybe they're more likely to buy one themselves. Tesla has also been dropping these posts. Friends don't let friends buy cars that cannot drive themselves. I don't even know if that's legal for them to say this quite yet. Is this a little too early? Elon himself said, try Tesla Supervised Self-Driving, the only robot car you can actually buy. FSD Supervised can drive you anywhere in the US, Canada, China, Mexico, and Puerto Rico. What's your thoughts about that concept?
Well, I love it. The idea, though, I absolutely believe that people will have a chance to ride in a Robotaxi and then choose to buy a Tesla. That's very believable. My mom spent years on the road doing regional work for a medical chain, and she would only buy cars that she had rented and enjoyed, because it's when you get to really drive a car for an extended period of time that you get to appreciate it. Butts in seats. The problem is that, of course, Robotaxi is just starting to roll out. The impact is going to be minimal at this point. As it grows, it becomes a bigger deal. I'm concerned that I'm not concerned with the way the tweet is worded. I'm not concerned with the way the post on X is worded. It does drive itself. You have to supervise it, but it absolutely drives itself. This went from, in the span of a year, a novelty that I wouldn't pay for and when I got it for free would rarely use, to an indispensable tool that I use every day, every drive, all the time. It's that good, at least where I live. When we're talking about someone like Xiaomi, though, they do have all kinds of bells and whistles, every bell and whistle. It is a tech-forward vehicle in a tech-forward market. And they do have their own kinds of adaptive driving, self-driving, autonomous assist that have various capabilities. They've got Summon, they've got Park, I know they have highways. I don't know if they have city streets just yet. But unfortunately, take rates around the world appear to be very low, 10 to 20% in good markets. I'm waiting for consumers to catch on to what these features are and start to understand the value of them.
Yeah, this is what I want to talk about, right? Because it's one thing where you hear about Tesla cars. So first of all, a lot of Tesla investors came to become Tesla investors because they bought the car. They bought the Tesla Model Y, they bought the Tesla Model 3, they've got a Tesla in their driveway, and they go, this is such a good car. Who is this company here? Or I want to invest in the company from now on. I think this is going to be a winner. That is a common theme for Tesla investors. But imagine when you're just a consumer walking down the street, know nothing, but then realize that there's a robotaxi. You're in Austin, you hail a robotaxi, and it turns out to be a Model Y. By the way, just a few days ago, that's when they've expanded it to not only include it's still invite only, but it's no longer just influencers. It is now people who signed up on the website. They're being given the ability to download the app and do a robotaxi ride. So they're, just a regular person sees the car and goes, oh, this is not a Waymo where clearly a Waymo you can't buy. You're not going to buy one of these monstrosities. But Tesla Model Y, you go, this is a Model Y. So butts and seat, even if they didn't self-drive, wouldn't that alone already sell you the car? But now that you're going, this car, my car, if I buy one, it will do this as well. That's the difference. I've got, we could talk Xiaomi SU7, but before that, I want to show you this. Obviously, this is the demo of the very first Model Y that went from the factory to the customer's home. It drove itself. So this guy, Jose, who was the very first customer, it was random. They picked him out of a random. He didn't even know about full self-driving. He just bought it because he didn't want to drive a gas car anymore. And then he was told, oh, this car is going to drive itself. And then he didn't even buy FSD. He didn't realize it was there. So it wasn't like, what I mean? Many people don't even know that it exists. But now that this is the first time it happened, we don't know yet if it's like every car from now on. But soon it will be every car from now on in Austin. But when that happens, boy, people will realize, what? The car drove itself? So even if they weren't, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy. Right. This wasn't delivered to Wired Magazine's chief editor or something like that. No, this was sent to some dude, just some dude. And that's what we're going to be seeing more and more of. I don't think they'll be putting 3,000 miles on your car to drive it all the way to your house, but it's already taking itself to the delivery lot. It may put itself on the truck, maybe not. That doesn't seem like something I need it to do. I think humans can still load the truck. And then when it gets to the showroom, they'll take a look at it, make sure it's clean, and ship it off to you. Away it goes. And for someone like me, that'd be handy because I'm, kind of far from a sales center.
Yeah. So Elon talked about this a long time ago, didn't he? He said that there's two incredible disruptive technology that's coming to upend automobiles. And that's why we're going to become an auto company. And if you didn't have these two, we wouldn't be able to succeed. One is switching over, transitioning to electric vehicles. And then the other one is self-driving. And he said that at some point, EVs will be a commodity. And that is where we're kind of are at this point. Many automakers are making electric vehicles. Few are able to get profitable, but still, they're able to make it. But the other, right in time that these guys are able to make these cars, Tesla's transitioning to including, again, this is the part of the point, not just self-driving, but now Grok into the cars. Now that one, maybe that's not a differentiator. You can tell me, but let's take a look at, 200,000 orders in just 3 minutes, apparently. Some people are questioning it. Xiaomi YU7, 835 kilometers of range, but it's quite incredible when you take a look at the inside of it. So maybe we can listen into him a little bit too.
Things, for example, we want to
so that horizontal
change the position
screen there
of the display like this.
Watch this. That horizontal screen right there is apparently the biggest feature driver. People just love this thing that's available.
Over this side, you have a powered magnetic charger, and no actual wiring needs. Center screen, 6.1 inch. So this thing comes with Apple CarPlay. That will be Apple user friendly. Okay, and all these things you can customize, like physical buttons.
Wow.
And of course, if you don't like it, you just remove everything on here. Then below here, you have two wireless charging pads, and over this side, you have two cap holders. Wow.
as
I like the
well.
way it pops up. And the center console part, this little thing, it's actually a control button. Let me show you guys. We can just put it over here. Then we can control the passenger seat by clicking this button here. All right, now let's have a look at the second row. Double layer insulated glasses. Cool. Over here, we have a control screen. We can control the music, our seats, our climate. This thing is not fixed. Actually, we can remove it like this. Underneath here, we have a mini fridge. The seats are pretty comfy. I can adjust the angles all the way to 135 degrees. Watch this. I think here front is nothing special, but Xiaomi is different. Watch this. So the whole thing, the bonnet lift up. The storage is around 141 liters. I'm thinking, what if McLaren makes SUV will be good as this one? So what do you guys think?
Wow.
It's got a mini fridge.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So these are good cars, and they look like they're on their way. But it's a bloodbath in China. They have to outdo each other. If you don't have a mini fridge in your car at this point, how do you differentiate yourself from the other Chinese automakers that have mini fridges at this point? That's why they're loading it up with these features. But Tesla, what happens? Oh no, they don't have a mini fridge. Oh no, they don't have that beautiful horizontal, car. They don't have those free floating buttons. But does that matter? What matters more could be self-driving and could be Grok.
So the Grok part, I don't know. A lot of cars in China already have AI assistants in them. I know NIO does and some others, and they work pretty well. You can just ask them questions. When I would be in a showroom or somewhere looking at a car and I'd ask about a feature, the guy would just lean in the window and ask the car to show it to me, and it would show it to me. So those features are coming. In China, I don't know if it will. I think they just have to do it for that market. In the US, I don't see it moving the needle. I don't think anyone will buy a car because it has an AI assistant. I think the AI assistants we've already had forced upon us were so premature in their delivery that a lot of consumers in the US have a bad taste in their mouths over them. And we've seen them start off strong and get weaker and weaker over time. Things like the Amazon Home and the I dare not say the name of it because one's in this room, but it starts with a G and it'll start talking to me if I say its name too loud. Those are frustrating devices that people don't really care for. I do think this is a good partnership. I think that Tesla is likely getting the Grok service for free because it is a premium service that you have to pay for on X. You have to be an X premium subscriber to use it. And I don't know, that might frustrate buyers. If they buy a car thinking it has this feature only to discover that it's yet another subscription add-on, maybe they won't care for it as much.
Yeah. Well, we know the way Tesla does things. They're not gonna just make it a premium thing. It's going to be available for everybody. So why do we talking about Grok? And I think that Grok is going to be in his Elon is promising it to be the leader in superintelligence. This is going to be more than just what we've seen so far with Siri and others. This is going to be really, really, really impressive.
I agree with you on that, but I don't know if consumers believe it.
We'll see. Yeah, that's the key, right? So Elon said this recently a couple of days ago. He said, grinding on Grok all night with the XAI team. Good progress. Will be called Grok 4. Will be released just after July 4th. Needs one more big run for a specialized coding model.
Gross.
Somebody asked them, or somebody else said this, the world is not ready for this model. Sorry, is for this model. This is one of the XAI teams. The world's not ready for this model. We cracked and innovated so many recipes. Grok 4's intelligence will be unmatched. Unmatched. This is the confidence of the team. Remember, we have a fraction of employees compared to other frontier labs. One of us equals 10 researchers at other AI labs.
Nice.
Now, he was asked the question, Elon, is Optimus going to run a Grok voice assistant? That would be pretty cool. Elon said already does. So if Optimus is already running Grok, then the likelihood that the Tesla cars is also likely. And Green Leone, who's the software guy who's been diving deep into Tesla software, kind of opening it up, and he found that there's already Grok code in the software for Tesla cars. So that's why we know it's coming. It said, I decided maybe I need to be less lazy. Show you some Grok goodies. Now time to figure out how to connect the microphone and take some actually decent pictures or screenshots or some such. Grok currently requires premium connectivity and pairs into your existing account. So if you have Tesla premium connectivity, looks like you're going to get it now. So
that was my confusion. I read your existing account and I took that to mean X account. So thank you for that correction.
Yeah. So if you take a look at the screen here, let's take a look at what you actually see. Grok, scan the QR code with your device and log in. I don't know, and log into your Grok. Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's where it was. Is that you have to, if you scan it, you log into X from there. I'm not sure.
No, I think it's premium connectivity means Tesla premium connectivity.
Right. But what's the QR code? It's your car should already know it's premium connectivity. And log into your Grok account.
Mm-hmm. That's if you,
I don't know.
If you don't, I guess you have to maybe set up a Grok account online and then you connect your car to it. Maybe we'll see.
Too soon to know. They might not even know yet.
Not safe for work, kids mode. You could get different settings. You got the different voice assistants, right? Just like in Grok already has. You can have Ara. She's the upbeat female voice. You can have a Rex, a calm male voice. You can have Gork, lazy. That guy is hilarious. It's like a joke. So there's a voice assistant. So it's basically going to be similar to the Grok experience you already have now, which is on X. You can talk to it, ask it questions, but it's built in. Yeah. Language tutor, therapist. So if you want to learn a language and you set it that setting, then while you're driving, it can be teaching you. You can just talk to it and it'll talk back to you. It'll teach you a language that you want.
Wow.
Tell me a story, those kind of things. And it looks like it's going to be able to control. I'm sure it'll be able to control these things. Hopefully it does, right? But do it in a better way. So it looks like Grok is coming. Grok code is already there. So you just think that, it's just an LLM, right? So you don't think that itself is going to.
It doesn't matter what you and I think. It matters what consumers think. And I don't know that a lot of people will say, I'm never even going to try it. Yeah. Like a lot of people say that with FSD. For a lot of people, FSD is meaningless to them because they won't try it. They've never tried. I don't trust machines. My friend, your world is machines, but all right. So yeah, when it comes out, I don't see people saying I must buy a Tesla because of it. But if I'm in the car with one, of my buddies who also learn Spanish, and I say, let's just do a Spanish lesson right now, and they see how good it is, this might be their next car. Not tomorrow, not today, but 2-3 years from now.
So it depends on the feature and whether it's a killer feature or not a killer feature. Like my wife says, okay, I'll never wear one of these smart glasses. I'll never wear the smart glasses. And I get it, right? It's like, people don't like wearing glasses. They prefer not to do that. But what if it has a killer feature? Like, what if when you look at the light switch and the light switch just turns on? When you look at the television, it just turns on. You know what I mean? You can increase or lower the volume by looking at a certain part of the television and it changes it. What happens when you're walking down the street and when you look at somebody, it'll tell you who their name is or what their background is. Now that's creepy. We don't want to do that, but I'm just trying to come up with examples where there will be a feature where you will end up wearing glasses. It's just too big of a feature for you to not
price
want
comparison shopping. Just look at the item, look at the barcode, and it'll
available
tell you
Amazon.
all the prices. Well, yes, or available next door or at the other end of the mall. When I was a teenager, I'd go to the mall to buy a CD, and I couldn't price shop the two CD stores against each other because they were a half mile apart, and I wasn't going to walk that far.
So if Grok is just an LLM, that's what I was saying. If it was just an LLM, not a big deal, right? I mean, I can open up my phone and ask LLM there, ChatGPT, Grok. I can just do that. What's a big deal versus talking to my car and doing that? If it was integrated and I say, windshield wiper turn on, it's much better. If it has to be better than what it is now, because what you said is true. What they have today, it sucks. It just doesn't work. And so I don't bother using it ever. and but it needs to be really, really, really good. And then, but it has to be more than that. I think it has to be, something interesting and different. I don't know what it is, but if it is, then that's when it becomes interesting. Otherwise, yeah, it could just be, it's there.
A good example I saw this week of just how clever and first principles oriented the Tesla team is the windshield wipers on the robotaxi. When it rains, you don't need to see, I don't need to see, the car needs to see. So when it's raining, the windshield wiper gets up to where the camera is and goes wipe, 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 and then goes back down.
Does it really?
Yes.
It goes,
I
it
think
goes
Dirty
wipe,
Tesla
wipe,
got a
wipe.
video of it. It goes part way up and it goes camera, 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 goes back down. And it'll give you 3 good swipes up there just on the camera. Because of course it does. Why didn't Waymo do that? Well, probably because all their cameras are outside getting wet. I don't know.
No, but yeah, Tesla AI team came and said that, the AI in part of the car isn't just FSD, isn't just Grok. It's everything connected together. And they're learning all these little things, machine learning. Every little part of the car is connected. Well, if the seats need to be moved back while you're getting in, it'll do that. If that's what is the right thing for you, or that special time. If it knows that you're in a grocery store, if it knows that I just went to a movie theater and it knows that I always buy the big buckets of popcorn, it'll move the seats a little bit back for me.
Right. Of course. Well, in this guy, I tell you, I'm just going to put it on campfire mode when he gets back from the buffet. Take a quick nap on the way home. Well, and even little things like geographical settings for how high your trunk opens, so you don't bang it on the garage at work or at home or wherever it may be. When I got out to the Gig in Nevada site and met Zangler, he comes out there in his Model S. He has it set so that the air suspension takes him to full ride height when he gets there, so that when he gets onto the dirt to park, he doesn't scrape.
Oh, okay. Brilliant.
The little things. Brilliant.
Little things like that. Yeah. Okay. So Grok is coming to the cars, and then you've got it self-drives. You were saying earlier, you don't think, because first of all, robotaxi is going to be very small numbers, just in Austin, not enough to do anything. It's not going to move the needle. Then you've got Grok, maybe shows up, but it's going to be the simple feature. So neither of these are going to be demand drivers in your mind by the end of this year.
What I see for demand drivers is, if the IRA is going away, I think a lot of people might pull the trigger 6 to 12 months sooner than they would have otherwise. We may see a front loading of sales. What we're seeing Tesla do over the last 2 quarters is load inventory. We saw the inventory grow to 50,000 units right now. I think through Q3, they will continue doing that. I think they will intentionally overproduce up to whatever the deadline is, in anticipation of a wave of sales coming in at the last minute to get the last days of that tremendous discount. I've seen a lot of people saying, well, that credit goes to just the buyer. That doesn't affect Tesla. Sales will be unaffected. That's not how purchasing works. I mean, it's about using the IRA as your large down payment to get into a car easier. It's about the real net cost. So I do think there will be a rush for that. And it does look like the IRA will be gone sometime between September and at the latest, maybe December. But it's, if you want a car and it qualifies, now's the time. So there's a lot there. But I do think also just the fact that they've got the Model Y ramped is going to be enough to move some units, especially in other markets. We did see better than expected deliveries, not as good as Wall Street deliveries. Wall Street was remarkably close, but just a hair over. First time I think Wall Street consensus was closer than any of the analysts on YouTube and X and other social media. But they, I think Germany is still ramping, or has finally finished ramping. I think we're going to see decent sales, but those might not be enough to get us back to record-setting levels.
Oh, you've made me cough now. I think it's the other way around. So, Brian, I mean, this is just weird. Isn't this weird? Isn't it weird?
Is it?
That
I don't know.
Tesla launches robotaxi. Cars are driving around, picking up everybody, dropping everybody off. It's still happening now. It's been over a week now. And yeah, sure, it's small numbers, but this is just a regular car. This is just a Model Y. That's what the point is. Every Model Y could do this if it was legal and all that. Then you had a car drive itself from the factory to a person's home. 30 minutes, 30 miles. That's not, it's like, what? Nobody knows this. Nobody cares. It's like a small blip. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Popular culture isn't as popular as it used to be. Things aren't known by everybody. I told you I had a friend who lived in Houston, and I said, boy, have you ever been down to see one of the Starship launches? And he said, Starship, what is that? And so I showed him footage, and he said, boy, that almost doesn't look real. I'm like, this is in your backyard. Now, mind you, 8 hours away, but still in your state, and you've never even heard of it. Popular culture isn't popular anymore. Everyone has their own little bubbles, and it's very easy to miss the news. How many times have you used someone in a parking lot only for people to freak out and have no earthly idea what this is all about? It's people just don't know. And I mean, you could argue maybe it's time to advertise, but even with that, I don't know of a universal ad that actually reaches everybody. I mean, there are ads for different Tesla products at times. I've heard that Powerwall ads are quite common. I've never seen one, but I don't know how you would reach me with those ads.
Yeah. So maybe we'll never get a ChatGPT moment that even Elon himself thinks it might happen at some point, which is like, the general public in the world starts to realize cars drive themselves, specifically Teslas.
I don't know. I think airports will be a good one. I did see a lot of criticism about Tesla not offering robotaxis at the airport. It's airport property. You have to play by their rules. You don't have a permit. You would need to get a permit. And I don't think a permit makes sense when you're only running 10 of them. Once it's fully deployed in Austin-wide with enough cars, then it makes sense. But
one day my Tesla will wake up and have a conscience. Like it was sentient. Hey, Herbert, how are you doing? You want me to get you a coffee? I'll go get you a coffee. I'll drive to Starbucks, pay for it, get it back to you.
Oh, yeah.
Have a good day, buddy. Nobody will care. Nobody will care. Everybody goes, whatever. I do think robotaxi is going to be the killer. And, it doesn't matter if Teslas are demand driver, by the way. That's the trick of the whole show today. At some point, Tesla doesn't need to sell you cars anymore. What they just need to do is build the cars. It drives itself, becomes a robotaxi, makes a ton more money than if they don't do that. If you want to buy one because you are aware of it, go ahead. But if you don't, that's okay. We'll just throw it into robotaxi. And then that's what's going to wake up everybody in terms of like realizing, because earnings will skyrocket for Tesla. So it doesn't matter if Tesla's these are demand drivers or not. We are at that moment where the moment that you're looking at Xiaomi's SU7, you want to buy a car, you can go ahead and buy that one. But you don't need to buy this one because
I don't need a fridge.
Honestly, I think we all need a fridge.
Honestly, though, I don't know. I feel like I would just buy more beverages just for the sake of using it. But I don't know if I would actually, I don't know how much use it would get. You know what? We should talk to people like Tesla Tino, who I think right now has 2 fridges in his Cybertruck.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. I appreciate you. Follow Brian on his YouTube channel, FutureAza. Thanks, everybody. I've created a website that is the most comprehensive resource for the Tesla investor. Please check it out. Simply go to my website at herbertong.com.